So we're going to pick up on a conversation that we started yesterday, the continuation of the thoughts. As I was saying, a very good friend of mine and I were having a conversation about relationships and being yourself and how that supports everything else. And if that's not in place, then nothing else can stay in place, or you can't build anything else. So we're going to continue on with that. Because the other part of that conversation had to do a lot with respect, among other things, and with patience. Part of the conversation was, hey man, I'm older now. I don't have time to deal with the BS. So my thought is not differing from that, but differing in the conception, or should I say, the perception of that. See, I believe that when you're older, or you've had some time or some experiences and events, you actually have more time and space to deal with the garbage because you've established yourself and you're kind of comfortable within yourself and with the things that you've built. And so you're not putting yourself in the way of the grind, so to speak. Unlike when you were younger, you're out getting the grind, you're out trying to get those opportunities, and things are being thrown at you left and right, and you're grabbing at this and grabbing at that. And so my statement is, it's the exact opposite. You don't have the time when you're younger because you're trying to grab, or at least you shouldn't have the time, because you should be concentrating on trying to get to that goal, achieve that purpose, those accomplishments, putting yourself in the way of opportunity, grabbing hold of opportunities. But what happens is we bypass, we make excuses for, we accept, we go off of the theory that I'm younger, I'll have the opportunity to do it again. And so we're accepting of whatever it is, the BS, the garbage, the situation, because we don't know any better, because we are more elastic in our thinking. We haven't seen it enough times yet. And when we get older, we encounter things that we've seen or continue to see, and we say, hey, wait a second, this is a repeat. I know what happens next. And so we cut ourselves off, or we cut whatever it is off, or we shut it down and we move forward, or we just move to the side or backwards or whatever it may be. So it's not that we don't have time to deal with it, we don't have the space to deal with it. It's that we have literally built up a tolerance and immunity, if you will, to the BS. Instead of looking for an excuse to make, or thinking that we're going to be able to change it, or that it's going to change if we just let it ride, we already know it's not, or that it will change and we know which direction it's going to change in. So we see the upcoming part of the movie coming because we've seen the movie before, and we go, oh, this is the part where I turn away because I don't like this part, or I can't stomach this part, or I've seen this before, I don't like this movie, I'm not going to continue to watch it. So it's not that we don't have the time or the space, because actually at that point, when we get a little established, as I said earlier, we're comfortable. We may not be grinding. Most people start slowing it down. They want to relax, or at least relax within their atmosphere. Others, yes, we keep grinding, trying to get to the next tier. Now that doesn't mean we're not relaxing. Doesn't mean we don't have the time and the space. It just means that we're still moving, still trying to shake. So again, I say I think it's the exact opposite, but we don't realize that when we're younger. And so it becomes, hey, I don't have the time for this now. Because we realize that we lost a lot of time with it prior to. Which takes me to my next thought. Patience. It's an invaluable commodity. I know I worked on developing and maintaining and achieving what I consider to be Zen levels of patience for all my life, because I still work on it. And I think at one point I considered myself immovable, unshakable, couldn't disrupt my Zen, at least not in most situations. And the reality of it was that Zen is something that you just are, you just exude. So I believe I still have that, I still exude that, but I do know that in some arenas, I did burn the candle of patience. Problem with that is you can slow the burn, but you can never get that wax back. You can light another candle, but you can't reburn that one. So I say that simply and honestly to say, when you lose your patience, whatever you were holding on to with that patience will now be chasing that patience, because that patience is gone. Get it? Thoughts from the basement. Be patient with me. I'm working on it.